Good morning all, welcome back to Sew Granny Sew. It's good to be back. Just getting over this, I believe what is blue. So today we're going to go ahead and start making our Carpenter Star. I'm going to go as long as I can before the video gets too long. We may have to split this one in half. So first of all, I just went through all my squares because the Carpenter Star is going to be the focal point of our Star Sampler quilt. So I'm going to make it larger than the other box, probably by double. And then I'm going to use all the colors that we've been using in our squares and plus a few extras so we got room to add more squares to it yet. So the first thing you're going to want to do is pick out what color neutral or low volume works best in your quilt. So I do have a few white backgrounds on a couple fabrics, but for the most part it's in a cream or a beige color. So I just picked out a piece of that and that will be our background for our stashing and also to make our blocks bigger. And then I just went through all the different squares we've got done so far and picked out all the colors I had anything left up, and then I added a few new ones in. So what we need to do is we need 36 half square triangles for this block, and those 36 half square triangles are going to consist of one half of one of these and one half of the cream or beige, whatever you've chosen for your background color. Then we need 12 full squares of one of these, and then we need 16 full squares of the background color. So we're going to make our squares. We're going to start off with, because it's going to be 8 squares wide and 8 squares tall. So I'm going to start off with 3-inch squares. I'm hoping to come close to a 2-foot mark because that will just help increase the size of our blanket, and a Carpenter Star is kind of a wow factor in itself. So let's go ahead and get started by cutting out those squares. I'm going to cut 1 square. I picked out all my colors. So I got 36 for my half square triangles. And then I'm just going to duplicate the 1 square of 12 different ones for my solid squares that I need. So I'm going to go ahead and get my 3-inch squares cut, and I will meet you. We have our total of our 36 colored squares for our half square triangles cut, and these are all 3 by 3. We have our 12-inch colored squares for our full. We're going to leave these full, and they are also 3 by 3. In order to make our half square triangles, of course, we need our background color. So we'll cut squares from that for all 36 of these. Then we're also going to need another 16 squares that we're going to leave whole like these. So I'm going to go ahead and cut out a total of 52 of the background color. It'll be a little bit easier. Those are, because I use scraps for my star squares or star blocks. So they're a little bit more time consuming. A little more time consuming to cut those out, of course, because you're cutting up from multiple different pieces of fabric. So with the half square or with the background 3-inch squares, we're just going to line this fold up onto a line. I want to make sure I got that in your view there. Make sure that's good and straight, and we're going to cut ourselves. We're going to cut ourselves a nice even edge along there. I'm hoping you guys can all hear me. I know my voice isn't the best today, but we'll get there, I promise. Thanks for all the prayers, guys. I am a prayer believer, prayer warrior, so I believe it really helped. I'm on the mend, doing good. Okay, so once we have that done, we're just going to go ahead and slide our ruler up, line that up with our 3-inch mark. Oh, I cut that one crooked. We're going to have to fix that. And we'll cut this piece off again. Mistakes happen. Now we're going to cut another one. So I am actually lining it up along the edge inside the squares of my ruler. And because we need some money, I'm going to go ahead and cut one more strip like that. Then we're going to lay them all out like this, one on top of the other. Now, if you're working with more room, you can line yours up all the way down. I'm working with such a small space here. I just line mine up to the end of the cutting board and readjust it as I get that part to cut. So we're just going to put that down, get rid of the big ruler, grab the little one. I'm going to go ahead and start at this end. We're going to cut that selvage off the end. And we're just going to cut some 3-inch squares. And we know we got 3 per strip right now, so 3. If you're more comfortable with cutting more at one time, you can leave your fabric folded instead of laying it out flat like this. And then you can cut 2 on each strip at a time. I don't just automatically assume every beginner knows or feels comfortable doing that. So if you are comfortable, by all means, please do that. It's a real time saver to get comfortable like that. But I can also remember when I first started and I was really concerned with wasting out fabric if I miscut. Twelve, 15, 16, and those will be for our full squares. So we just need 36 more. So I need 9 more yet, so I'll have to get some more out. But I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to get you started on your half square triangles. So you can finish your half square triangles. So what we're going to do is we're going to take our background fabric, whatever color you've chosen. You could go light, you could go dark. And we're just going to flip it to the back side and line up our ruler on the diagonal. We're going to draw our line. We're going to pair it up with one of our colors. Put that on there. So I got to thinking, while I'm getting the pins, I got to thinking we could actually do this with many different sizes. If you didn't want to cut out all those colors, well, for starters, if you did, it'd probably be best if you just cut a 3-inch square every time you use one of your fabrics to make your star sampler quilt. Just cut out an extra 3-inch square and set it aside for this one in the end. But you could also use a charm pack. You would need a total of 48 colored squares. But if you got 2 charm packs, and then you could use the extra squares to do like a border around it. But a 5-inch charm pack would leave you with a star that is 40 with a 2-inch trim around it. You'll see in the end when we do this, it will leave you with a star that is 40 by 40 inches with just a really nice size baby blanket. It's also a really nice size wall hanging. And if you actually did it with a layer cake on a 10 by 10 inch one, that would give you a 6 foot by 6 foot plus size blanket. So, I mean, if you can open your mind to the possibilities, this is really universal and it's just one star and it would make the whole blanket and it's really cool looking. It's actually a modified Carpenter Star. So there's so many different modifications on the Carpenter Star and you'll see why in the end. Everybody kind of puts their own twist and turn on it. But anyways, I am going to, you're going to sew that right on that stitch line at first. Then you're going to go a 1/2 inch over. So you could measure that out if you wanted, or you know what, I'm going to remove that one just to show you. But you could take your 1/2 inch line it up with that line and draw another one. That way you could sew on both lines. When you're done, just take your 1/4 inch and cut in between, and that will leave you with your both sides half square triangle that you need. But then that one will be all ready to go. So you could use it. We've done so many different star blocks that take half square triangles. You could put like all your purples together or all your greens and make different stars to go with this star quilt, the sampler quilt, anywhere you'd like, kind of like what we're doing with the bonus block. So that's an idea as well. So I'm going to let you go with that for today. So if you want to sew along, you can go ahead and get all your squares cut out. Like I said, you need a total of 48 colored squares that are 3" by 3" and 52 of your background fabrics that are 3" by 3". And you want to take all of your 36 colors. So you'll take these ones and match them up with your background for your half square triangle. So go ahead and get that done today if you're following along, sewing along with me. And then we'll come back tomorrow to do the rest. So we'll go ahead and finish up this half square triangle. I'll get that sewn on both lines. And we'll come back, cut it apart, get it ironed flat so I can show you, in case you're new to the half square triangle, show you how that looks. And then I'll set you free to go ahead and do yours. And then I will meet you back here tomorrow at that point. I sewed it in blue so it shows up a little bit better. So you just sew on both lines that we put there, that we drew on with a ruler. And we're just going to line up our 1/4 inch mark on our ruler with the biggest line we drew there and that we stitched on. And we're going to go ahead and cut that. So we have 2 half square triangles. We'll use this smaller one in an alternate block. We'll bring it to the ironing board and iron that towards the dark. And the same with this one, but we will be using the bigger one in the block we're currently making. So I'll go ahead and get those ironed flat and bring them back. I have any tails to trim up, but on here we do have the dog ears. So we're going to go ahead and snip those off. And we'll just set these ones aside in a pile to hold back for another block. And there's one of our blocks are done. So I'm going to go ahead and finish mine. That'll give you guys a chance to get yours done up as well. So tomorrow we'll be heading in to putting our block together. Remember, 36 half square triangles by the time you're done. And you will have 12 of the colored full squares and 16 of the background full squares. So that will be the homework for today, and I will meet you back here tomorrow. And as always, guys, if you found this video useful, go ahead and give it a big thumbs up. It really helps our channel grow. If you haven't subscribed yet, go ahead and hit that subscribe button because we'd love to have you here at Sew Granny Sew. Thanks all. Have a good day. Bye.